Recent updates. Palm Coast, Florida, Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staly held a news conference to announce a new arrest in the September 2023 shooting death of an 18-month-old child. C.J. Nelson Jr., the infant's uncle, has been incarcerated ever since the shooting incident transpired. He was accused of manslaughter in November. C.J. Nelson Sr., the father of the suspected shooter, was detained on Monday, according to the sheriff, on suspicion of tampering with evidence and lying to law enforcement during the investigation. According to Staly, it was clear that evidence had been tampered with and that people who saw the killing were not telling the truth. In November, authorities determined that the fatal shot was fired by C.J. Nelson Jr. against the child. His fingerprints and DNA were extracted from the gun that deputies discovered at the crime scene. Furthermore, officials stated that Nelson Jr., age 21, was intoxicated and under the influence of marijuana when he handled the firearm. Staly stated that Nelson Jr. attempted to be a punk gangster. According to the sheriff, Nelson Sr. was contacted and arrived at the residence in the immediate moments following the gunshot, according to Staly on Monday. According to the sheriff, he gave instructions on how to stage the scene. Nelson Sr. allegedly used a shirt to take the gun from his son, moved it to a room where deputies discovered it, asked other family members to give an alibi, and told his son to take a shower in an attempt to wash away any evidence while family members were at the hospital with the infant. This is all detailed in the charging affidavit. You might be curious about how C.J. Nelson knew what to do and how to set up a crime scene. To put it bluntly, he is a filth bag, Staly stated. He most likely learned it while incarcerated. Since 2003, he has been charged with 18 crimes, 9 misdemeanors, and 9 felonies, and has been arrested several times. Nelson Sr. is now charged with 2 counts of tampering with evidence and 2 counts of providing false information to law enforcement during an investigation, following his detention on Friday. The charges typically bear a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison, per the sheriff's office. This case proved that the apple didn't fall far from the tree. He will never receive the title of Father of the Year, Staly declared. I hope he and his son enjoy prison. Nelson Sr. is now freed from jail after posting bond. Unfortunately, C.J. Nelson Sr.'s bond was set at only $15,000, and he posted the bond and was released, according to Staly. On Monday morning, Staly stated he met with the state attorney. He stated that his team is attempting to secure a bond revocation or a higher bond amount because he considers Nelson Sr. to be a threat. Investigators also listened to and obtained jail phone recordings where C.J. Nelson Sr. made threats against members of the media, deputies, Detective Gordon, and myself, according to Staly. I personally believe C.J. Nelson Sr. is a threat to witnesses and to members of the sheriff's office. That is presently in the court's discretion. However, the investigation is not yet complete, according to the sheriff. I understand your desire to safeguard your son or daughter. However, that is not effective parenting. Require your children to be accountable. He does not, however, hold himself accountable. Consequently, he will not hold his children accountable. He will teach his children how to behave immorally and commit crimes, Staly stated. Follow us for more news.